Welcome back, people, whatever our fans are called. I'm Doomwaves,
Corruption.
and we're here at the K0rrupt10n. And yeah, we'll do a tour eventually, just for grins, but maybe we'll put that on his channel. Who knows?
One of these days.
One of these days. But for now, we are here to talk about games, of course. One of the genres that well, he's a bigger fan of than I am, but we're both pretty big fans, and we've grew up playing these type of games because these were really the only two-player games we played as kids a lot, and that was, of course, the fighting genre. We grew up playing primarily Mortal Kombat. I remember Mortal Kombat 2 more than 1, and Street Fighter. But there are other series that are noteworthy, and those are just some of the earliest ones we played.
Yeah.
And you had them, not me.
Yeah. Shoot, I can't remember what all I used to have then. Said Mortal Kombat series is what we usually follow because me and my father he loved playing Mortal Kombat 2 up until the PlayStation era. Then he just kind of gave up on it all. Too many buttons for him. So
well, they did like weird things too. Like they did that Sub-Zero game. It was like a hack and slash, like a beat 'em up style game.
Name of that one.
It was like Mythologies or something like that. So they did some strange things, trying to elongate the genre, I guess. But really, it was like one of those formulas. It's like, it's not broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. Because
then they did that Shaolin monks or
they did some weird stuff on PS2. But I thought about buying those though. They had like a box set of like 3 of them for like $20. I was like,
it might be worth it now.
Yeah.
And people that bought them back at $50 range was kind of pissed. But,
yeah. I kind of like in the newer generation, even in PlayStation 2 and on up, they actually like include like a story kind of.
Yeah.
It's not just, you pick your character, you go fight, and then you try to fight them all till the last one. It's there's actually a little bit more in depth, at least with the Mortal Kombat ones. I haven't played too many of them. But yeah, I kind of like that there's actual, like dialogue, cutscenes, kind of cool.
Well, it was kind of interesting with the first Mortal Kombat 2 with their kind of story mode, which was the tournament ladder.
Yeah.
But, I mean, after, I can't remember what fighting games we really had before that just weren't really
Well, just like the original Mortal Kombat. And seeing, I just played them at your house, and you had Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I think, not Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, the one with all of the characters, kind of the definitive version, if you really wanted to look
I think it was like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Yeah,
it had like a brick wall background. That's actually the one that I want, but the one I have is Turbo, and the only difference is like 4 characters, like T-Hawk, the Bruce Lee guy, whatever his name is, Fei Long,
yeah,
and DJ, the Jamaican dude, and who's the fourth one? Cammy. Cammy's in that one.
Really?
Yeah, she was in that one. I'm pretty sure.
Well, since I had like the one that was the set, I couldn't think of Cammy not being in the core game.
So that's what I mean. Like, when I got Turbo, I was actually surprised that like T-Hawk wasn't there, because I actually like T-Hawk a lot. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird, that he wasn't there. But that was when I was just starting to rebuy some of these games, and I didn't know the difference in all the versions. And actually, the original Street Fighter 2 had like half as many people as even in Turbo. Like, there's just not very many people in that one.
Right.
But and that was the original. But it didn't take away from the gameplay. It was nice to have a good variety of characters. But going back to Mortal Kombat, I remember playing it a lot more, and we were playing it in the heyday, of Mortal Kombat when Nintendo didn't want to put blood in it and stuff like that, and I can remember you and I playing it quite a bit, and you just kicking my ass, and I would just get so frustrated. I would just like pause the game and do like, tell me how to do a move. I don't know how to do a move. Tell me how to do one. Tell me how to throw fire. If I'm Liu Kang, tell me how to do it. And it's just like one of those kind of things. And I just get so frustrated with you.
Well, that shit got really difficult later on when they start making the special moves take more combo chains.
Yeah, it's nuts. And we actually spent some time this evening playing some newer gen stuff. We played a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We played a little bit of Mortal Kombat.
I guess that's considered 9 these days.
Yeah, the last Mortal Kombat to come out on PlayStation 3. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't played it before tonight, and I'm going to buy it, I think, because that was really fun. I really liked the way it looked and the characters and the combos and stuff. And we talked briefly, too, about Injustice, Gods Among Us, recently coming out, and how it's been said by a lot of people that this Injustice really gives good, like a nod to that Mortal Kombat game, being like the same style, which is just awesome.
Yeah, and it also helped, I believe, if I remember correctly, NetherRealm Studios did
both of them? Okay.
Did both,
yeah, there you go. So that's cool. And
so they're running off still the same kind of Mortal Kombat engine, but I mean, because you could tell, I played a demo, and the Injustice demo was pretty nice. The only thing I was trying to get past was, well, with Mortal Kombat, our 4 buttons actually all had like 2 punches or 2 kicks assigned to it.
Yeah.
With the Injustice, it was like a punch, a kick, and like some hybrid, and then one kind of like special button for different like semi-special abilities, like on the fly. Batman's was like, he calls in like 3 little metal bats that just kind of home in.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know about this, but alright. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of liked, I watched Jumble Junkie, watched his video about Injustice, and he used Green Lantern, and I just really like what I saw. Like, it just was just a really cool looking game. And he kind of said, that if you want to get really good at Injustice, and if you want to play online, it's really beneficial to take a good amount of time and play in the practice mode, and just learn the moves. And see, for me, that's something that I could really get used to, and I could get behind that, because for me, with fighting games, I've always just been a button masher. And he said, if you really want to play Injustice, you really can't be.
Yeah.
He said, you really do need to learn these moves, because there's people that are just ridiculously good, and you're not going to win a match by button mashing. And that really made sense.
Something's happened in that whole fighting world. They've really gone.
There's a resurgence, I tell you what. And a lot of these people also have like the big fight sticks we talked about a little bit. I kind of want one now. It's like I never thought that I would want one.
Yeah, I've never been good with them, but they're fun to play on.
Yeah, I've never played a fighting game in the arcade, so.
Oh, you're missing.
I know. I'm so not arcadey. It's ridiculous. I mean, just because we didn't have one readily available growing up, we had to go to the city.
Right.
So when I went to the city with my family, it was like, there's no way we're going to go to an arcade. It's like, come on. But I played arcade games. Several of them. The bowling alley uptown. I used to have different ones, and I played TMNT arcade game in there. Never forget that. I played. They always had a pinball machine in there, so I got a love for pinball and for some arcade games. There was always a Ms. Pac-Man machine in there too. So I mean, several dollars, in quarters, hundreds of dollars, I'm sure, went into those machines. But I never did get to play a fighting game, and I kind of am a little bummed about that. But at the same time, it's like I like being able to play it at home.
Right.
I like that a little bit better, maybe, than having to stand at an arcade machine and people behind me breathing heavy.
Yeah, I think one of my last times in an arcade was probably when I was 15 or 16, and the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet was still there, and I remember playing it. I was pretty decent at it, and then surprisingly, stereotypical thing, this one Asian guy comes up and just decimates me. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things, though. I think with the Marvel vs. Capcom series, you can get away with being a button masher to some degree,
right.
And don't crucify me for saying that. But it's like I've had a lot of fun with the first 3 Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm not doing anything. I know what I'm doing. After playing it for a few minutes, I can tell. Okay, this is the high punch. And this is the low kick, and and all that stuff, and this is jump, and being able to jump and get out of the way of projectiles and stuff. You get the hang of it, but above all, you're still button mashing.
Right.
You may know what some of them do, but you're not like trying to pull off complex moves like you would in like the Mortal Kombat and in this new Injustice game also. The proof's in the pudding. You wiped the floor with me like 4 times.
Well, that was in Mortal Kombat. With Marvel vs. Capcom, it was pretty.
That was pretty even.
I never played the 3, so
yeah. Well, it was. You haven't played it, and I'm not very good at it. So, but that combination, it was pretty even. I think you still you won out. I think it was like.
I think we did 5 matches.
I think I got 1 and you got 4. But I mean, there weren't like total blowaways except for that one match where I had that big like. Beer keg
or whatever, yeah.
Beer keg looking guy who's about worthless.
We have no idea even what he's from, what he's about. Somebody can explain him to us.
Tron Bonne used her, and she's like one of the most underrated characters in that game. She actually kicks a lot of ass. I was playing with my niece in that game, and she's just a button masher like me. She's just pressing the buttons, but man, she beat me with Tron Bonne. I was like,
it was just Tron herself. I can understand her being as quick as she is. But being a mech, I don't know how she's got that kind of agility.
It's that big Lego guy with the hammer. That's it. Her special move is the one that kills you. But I love the over-the-topness of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, with like the proton cannon from Iron Man, just that kind of stuff. I like that, but I really like the intensity of the bone crushing and the what you call the X-rays.
Yeah, X-ray vision.
In Mortal Kombat. That was just so awesome. So
Mortal Kombat did a lot right this time around.
Yeah,
it was what it needed to actually survive as a company.
Well, and like if you really think about it, after kind of the 32, 64-bit era, with PlayStation, they kind of got quiet. They did lots of games for the PlayStation 2, but they weren't like really popular.
No.
And then they came out with this one, and it was kind of a reason, but they got in and on the right time.
Right.
Like fighting games in general are kind of on the upswing right now, and with really good titles like Injustice coming out, and the Marvel vs. Capcom series doing really well, and Street Fighter 4 and stuff like that. They did the right things at the right time, right. I think, and it's awesome. I love it. I'm going to buy that game.
Well, to the benefit of them, when they did it this time, when Warner Brothers took over, they basically threw it all out window and said, we're going to go back to like old school retro. We're keeping it simple. The combos now are the basic like down right punch. And you're pulling off combos and stringing them together. Aerial juggles are still there, which weren't really a big thing in the first Mortal Kombat, but aerial juggles in fighting games became real popular.
Yeah, and that's like one of the things that people said that turned them off of like Marvel vs. Capcom, because there was a lot of that. I don't know. I kind of like it.
Yeah, well,
although I'm more of a ground type fighter anyway.
Right.
I haven't played Virtua Fighter yet. I keep pointing over there because I brought over some games and they're sitting over there. I brought over Virtua Fighter 4. Thank you, Zach. Virtua Fighter 4, because I actually haven't even played this yet. And from what I understand, this is more of your straightforward, the Virtua series, stay on the ground, punch, kick, that kind of stuff. Like more of a martial arts type of thing.
Right.
But you're holding a game there that I also had never tried.
Guilty Gear X2.
Yeah, and you said that that's a really good series. I personally don't know anything about this series, so hopefully we get to throw down on that sometime.
That's one of those that the aerial juggles are really king.
Okay.
And it's really, really fast, over the top fighting. Kind of similar to like how Marvel vs. Capcom does. Only with more like the darker Japanese kind of stories compared to them. I mean, you got your characters that fill in comedy real easy, but some tone is...
Marvel vs. Capcom is set up to be like a comic book game. It's like the cutscenes are like the still comic book shots and stuff like that. Whereas like your Mortal Kombat, there was actually like cutscenes. Where like the characters are talking to each other and stuff, and I like that too. And I think I saw you had a Soul Calibur out earlier too, and I really like the Soul Calibur series. From what I've played, the only one I've actually played a lot of is. I think it's 2. Is that the one on Yeah, it's the one on the Xbox, original Xbox, and PlayStation 2.
Yours has Spawn, I believe.
Spawn, yeah, and then the GameCube one had Link. I actually really like that because it's like a story mode, but then you like progress through levels. You can go back and replay levels, and you can like grind up levels. Like it's got some RPG elements in it too. So I think that's a really good series too, and I like the weapon part too.
Right.
Like you can actually like buy different weapons and equip different weapons and use different things, and I thought that was pretty cool. And each character, playable character, has their own specific weapon. And there's a good variety of characters. Quick ones versus heavy striking. And like I can't even think of another one right now. Like good defense and stuff like that. So you can pick pretty much your play style, but you can also change characters, but you don't lose levels. Like the level is attached to you,
right?
And so you can change your character to fight this battle, with this type of character, and then in the next battle you need this kind of character. So you can switch between them during the story mode. So I thought that was pretty cool. You didn't have to stick with just the same one the whole time. Although up to where I'm at right now, I've only used a couple of different characters. Raphael being the main one.
Oh yeah,
he's like one of the first. He's one of the first ones you get, and he's just got that quick fencing. That
rapier.
It's really good attack. But I'm finding though that later on that's not as good.
No,
you don't want that. You want somebody who can hit a little bit harder. So I'm using. I can't remember what his name is. It's like he's like a pirate guy.
Cervantes.
That's it. I knew it was something like that. I'm using him. And I really like him. Like he's got some good attacks. I think he's technically a villain.
Yeah.
But you as soon as you fight him, you can unlock him and use him.
Right. Because in the first game, he was the end boss.
Yeah, I don't think he is on this one, but he is a boss. Like one level, it's got like different worlds, I guess you could say. Like I'm up to 6 right now. I'm like 6-1-2, blah blah blah. Yeah, I actually need to get back to that game because I played it for a lot of hours, and I really do want to finish it just because it was a lot of fun. And that was one of the first 3D fighting games that I actually got into. I'm not real big into 3D fighting games.
Yeah,
I've played a little bit, but I don't know.
They're a different kind of thing to tackle, and that's what Mortal Kombat had went to.
Yeah,
it didn't do well.
I don't like Tekken.
See, Tekken was the one I enjoyed, but I didn't play a whole lot of it near the end either.
I've only played 2, so I shouldn't be so quick to judge because maybe I would like 4 or 5. I think there's a 6 now
I
too.
believe so. And then Tag Turn.
Yeah, so I think maybe if I tried them again because I do like Soul Calibur, and like I do like the 3D fighting a little bit. Maybe I would like it, but man, Tekken 2 just drove me nuts. I still have it, but it's like, oh my god, it's so frustrating. Like I just don't care for it. I
enjoyed it, but with some of the characters having like some of the like almost one-shot abilities that they had, it was like, oh my god. Well, the one that rings to mind at the top is Yoshimitsu.
Is he the guy with the hair? Like the bull.
Well, I can't remember how they did him.
He's like bald on the top, and then he's got like.
Could be. He's got like a demon, like a
Fu Manchu.
Well, he had the Oni face or whatever, and he was the only one that had a sword.
I don't know.
Because he had the sword, and if you cocked it back and you knew he was going to lunge at you, 3/4 of your health is down.
This is the guy. This is the guy that's got the little wooden platform shoes.
Oh, Heihachi.
And he's got like the Fu Manchu comes down.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Like Heihachi.
Yeah, that's it.
He's usually the main.
He was like one of the main people, I think. I used him, but I just couldn't. I beat like the first couple of people, but I just couldn't get past like the third one. Like I was just getting my ass handed to me every time.
I think if I remember right, I think he was like the Soul Calibur 2's PlayStation's.
Maybe, yeah, it's possible because I do think there was a Tekken person in
one of the Soul
Calibur 3,
which was odd.
Soul Calibur 2,
because nobody in Tekken other than Yoshimitsu used a weapon.
I really want to get the rest of the Soul Caliburs too. Like I'd like to get the first one. I think it's on PlayStation or Dreamcast. I think there's one called Soul Edge too. It's called Soul Blade in Japan, but it's Soul Edge in America. So it's Soul Edge, and then Soul Calibur, and then all the numbered ones after that. So the only one I have is 2. So I'd like to find some of those older ones, at least to try out. But also, I think you've got one of the later ones too. I like to try those too. You know, just to see what they're all about. See if they kind of continue around on the same path that I liked with 2. Even though I say that, but I just played it this year. You know, and it's been out for a long time. But a lot of people say that it's really good on the GameCube too, because you can pick Link, and apparently Link is a total badass on that.
Yeah, Link. I remember playing a little bit on there, and Link was just. He was pretty quick and had decent hit power, so he was really overall kind of balanced fighter, which would kind of destroy anybody that went like high offensive, defend. You know, it would just decimate because he was just too rounded.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I hate Spawn on Soul Calibur 2. I hate him. He's slow, and I don't like him.
That was like the only reason I ever thought about getting an Xbox was to get Spawn.
Really? See, that's a cool game. I love it. I love Soul Calibur 2. But having it on Xbox makes no difference to me, like, because I don't use Spawn.
Right.
You know, I'd be just as happy with it on PlayStation 2 or GameCube, you know. Maybe even more, because I would like to try Link, you know. But I don't know how I would feel about the GameCube controller with a fighting game. I don't know how that would work with me. But surprisingly, I'm kind of picky about fighting games. The Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think, handles really well on the 360. I'm having trouble with Street Fighter 4 on the 360. Yeah. I think I really need to play it on the PS3 because I think I would do a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but just something about the 360 controller, for me, doesn't lend itself to fighting games as much.
That's actually a big thing in the gaming community is that 360 controller is not really the best for fighting. But then they did try to alleviate that with the controllers, because where's mine go? Because I've got a controller like that that's supposed to be...
That one or the...
Yeah, the controllers that now that the D-pad can be toggled in and out. Or
I heard about those.
To get the D-pad depressed more. It was supposed to be a little bit easier, but it's still like more like a joystick with a D-pad.
Well, that's strange.
But...
Yeah, I kind of wondered about those because when I first saw that, I was like, I wonder if mine does that. And then I'm sitting there trying to turn it. I was like, nope, apparently not.
No.
But yeah, we keep bringing up Injustice. I think we both need to get that.
Yeah, we do.
For PS3 because it's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Because like I said, I had a demo on 360, and it was like I said, it was a little rough to play it with the 360 controller for me, but. Me personally, if I could get like a scuff controller or something for the 360 in the shape of a PlayStation 3 controller, I'd be happy. That 360 controller like destroys my carpal tunnel like none other.
Really?
Yeah. It's just how much bulkier it is to reach over.
That's funny. I guess it's kind of in the same vein. For the longest time, when I heard the two phrases, fighting game and beat 'em up, I didn't know the difference. I do now, but I just finished a beat 'em up today. Actually, I did a video before I came over here. Actually, so it'll probably go up before this one does.
That's fine.
Sorry. So if you're watching this, you already know that I just talked about Code of Princess for the 3DS.
And if you're me right now, I don't know shit.
And I tell you what. Really fun beat 'em up game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's got some RPG elements. And I talk about it in my video, so go check it out. But I tell you what, I didn't talk about this in my video. I grinded so much in that video, and I would just be sitting there, my thumb would just be going crazy. Seriously, for a couple of days, my hand just hurt. It was like my cramps in my, whatever you call this part of your thumb, and just the back of my hand just hurt from just going to town. It was crazy.
Well, God, do you remember the old Mario Party wounds that people would get?
Yeah.
Just tearing off the flesh in the center of your palm. Goddamn tug of war.
I hate Mario Party so much.
Oh man, we played the shit out of it.
Oh, I know.
The first one.
Okay, I can see. Okay, I'll admit it's fun with a big group of people who just don't give a shit. Okay, but there's people who sit in a house alone and play Mario Party. Are you serious?
But my thing was, it was fun the first time around. 9 later,
Mario Party 375. No thanks.
Mario, you partying too much.
Well, and the stupidest thing... Sorry, we got off a tangent here. The stupidest thing is they made Mario parties for, handhelds. There's, a Mario Party DS. It's OMG. How does that happen? How does a shitty game sell so many copies? I don't know.
Now you understand the reference, but that personal opinion aside.
Lost train of thought. It's gone. We might as well end this video.
Right.
Unless you have anything else to add. Did we forget any like major series?
Well, we covered the Soul Calibur for the fighting games with basically weapons, and I've covered Guilty Gear, and you covered Mario.
King of Fighters.
Yeah.
I haven't played actually any of the main King of Fighters games. I did play one on the Game Boy Advance, which I know really doesn't count.
Yeah.
But it was still a lot of fun. And I'd really like to get, I think there's a King of Fighters collection for the PSP. So I think that's the way to go. Like if you're going to play, if you're new to the King of Fighters series, like moi, that's really the way to go, just so you can get kind of all of them, you know. Granted, it's on a handheld, but I don't know. I kind of like handhelds.
The only time I played one was actually like recently, within a year or so. One of the bars I went drinking at, surprisingly, they had like an arcade cabinet. They had like 100 old like arcades in one, you know.
So awesome.
Yeah, and most of them though.
It was like a main cabinet.
Yeah, but the one thing was like most of them were either the King of Fighters series or Metal Slug.
Oh, so it was an SNK.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was
like
probably
like the MVS or something like that. I want to get. I think it's 12 and 13 of the two that are on the PlayStation 3. I'll get those in addition to the handheld one. Because really, it's like, okay, most of the old King of Fighters games were on the original PlayStation. Like, other than the actual Neo Geo consoles, because we're excluding those because ain't nobody around here got that kind of money. Like the old school, like the PlayStation ones, like King of Fighters 95 on up, and then the Dreamcast ones too. And see, I'm so unfamiliar with most SNK stuff. I've played a little bit of like Akari Warriors, but see, I've never even played Metal Slug, quite honestly.
Metal Slug was fun. That was
I'm looking for the anthology, the Metal Slug anthology on the PlayStation 2 because I've heard that that's the way to go. Because you get like all of them,
right?
You know, it's like okay. Yeah. And I've really thought about buying that Neo Geo. Neo Geo X Pocket or whatever it is, that handheld that they just released like last year.
Oh god,
I've heard bad things about it though. But see, I don't want it for what everybody says it's bad for. Everybody says it's bad because of the little controller port, like the you plug it in, then you plug it into your TV, and you have like an old AES looking controller, and that's what people say sucks. But I just want the handheld. And I've heard actually this week that they're getting ready to release another set of games for it. So it may kind of shut up some of those naysayers who were complaining about, you know, it having a bona fide handheld emulator that just had a bunch of games on it, and then that's all it was going to be. Well, no, they're actually going to move forward and put some more games on it, which is really awesome. So I might be on the lookout for Neo Geo X Gold. Hell, I don't know what the hell it's called.
I don't even remember. I basically that was the first time hearing about it.
Really?
I kind of given up on Neo Geo like
wow.
way back
No,
when.
it's like a handheld that came out last year, and it for me it looks awesome because I like handhelds. But there's also I noticed actually our Dollar General here in town has one of these. It's like a Sega Genesis handheld. It's got like 40 Genesis games on it, so it's like Genesis on the go. It's like, well, what else has Sega got to do?
All right. Yeah, they ain't doing nothing.
Well, I mean, in their defense, I'm not bashing on Sega. They put out some quality games, you know, for other consoles, like newer current gen consoles. But as far as console, they've got all sorts of plug and plays and stuff like that.
Well, as far as games go, Sonic, they killed that poor hedgehog.
Oh my gosh,
he's done.
I have played a few of the original Sonics. Fun, I'll give them that. But for me, not better than Mario. I mean, that's just I just don't have as much fun.
Sonic Adventures though was a really
the Dreamcast.
Fun,
yeah, that was fun.
That was
I did like that. And seeing I didn't play Super Mario 64 very much.
Oh wow.
Like. So, I actually think in that case, I did like Sonic Adventure a little bit more than Super Mario 64. But I would like to get that. I think it's on the DS. I would like to pick that up.
Right.
So, Anyway, we've now been talking for like 10 minutes after we said we were going to stop talking. So,
and about other genres, even.
Yeah, we got off on like a crazy tangent. But if you're still with us, thanks for watching. We're going to do some more videos here probably, and back in my place too. I mean, doesn't really matter. He's got an awesome suite set up here. His games are behind me with his Mortal Kombat bookends that I'm very jealous of. But he's got some other cool stuff, so maybe we'll get to show off that sometime. And maybe it'll be on his channel, maybe it'll be on mine, maybe it'll be on both. Who knows?
And who knows, we might just go on to more videos of just tangents. We'll see.
Tangents afoot. Thanks for watching. For Doom Waves and Corruption, we're signing out.